Good morning, evening, afternoon. I'm Tatocat. Welcome to my channel. Today we're playing Echoes Lucid9 Fangame. Previously, we heard what the warden wants us to do in exchange for helping us, and the thing is, she doesn't actually need us to do it, but she's making us do it anyways for her own personal enjoyment. And in return, Yama and I will get citizenship. So yeah, and now she's leaving, and that's where we left off. It was a pleasure speaking with you, Miss Hayata. I can already tell that ours will be an interesting partnership. From behind me, a shaft of light reaches into the chamber, and the warden is gone. Oh, the jokes that could be said about that, but I won't say them. ... I turn towards the open door, trying my best to not trip and fall into the massive middle finger to workplace safety in front of me. Oh? This looks like the evil version of our hallway. Is there an evil Elris too? Or whatever her name was? Citizenship at the push of a button, huh? Sounds too good to be true, but then again, did everything Way Forward promise me? So did everything Way Forward promise me. And it kind of was. At the very least, the warden knows that helping us is a reasonable idea. Like most of Isamu's apex predators, there's obviously some method in her madness. First Satomi, then her. It's almost like Kosuke wants every ally we have to be as shady as a fucking cave. Well, they're all kind of evil, aren't they? I mean, what head of a corporation isn't a little bit shady? And especially the DCIS one. And the Blackstar one. They're basically the mob. And DCIS is just insane. The corporations can't be the only ones willing to help us, though. One of your current objectives has changed. Oh. Mission. Contracted resistance active. By capturing his wife and daughter, DCIS has lured wanted ILF terrorist Commander Yuto Maeda into attacking the political re-education camp that in District 4 imprisons them. Maeda hopes he can free his family, but him and his 200 men will just be where DCIS wants them, and so will you. Work with DCIS to capture Maeda alive for interrogation, and dispose of the rest to gain to gain the Limnyscape Corporation's favor. I still haven't figured out how to do this one. The blood sample thing. I don't know if I can do it. Well, I don't really have anything else I need to do. I bought all the stuff I could. Oh, it's unfriendly now. Oh no! It's unfriendly. That's okay. I don't like them anyways. Go to the business zone. Orbit Zero Lounge. I can't go there because I'm not friendly enough. Right. I guess I can't explore because I'm not friendly enough on good terms with them. I'm okay with that. I'm sure it would have been cool to do other things, but I'll show that after I do my playthrough. What it would be like if I was friendly with them at that point, so I can look at the stuff. Listen, I know it is not in their favor to say the things I say, but I'm okay with that. I don't like him anyways. And if that puts me in a bad position, meh. I can't really do voices right now, so Hisao is unfortunately going to be in my normal voice. Not that I have a set in stone voice for him anyways. Understand why we assisted KCOM. I don't take any issues with that. Then, what's the problem, operative? Well, we are just kind of murdering people now. That's the problem. It is straight up murder. We don't need to be there, and they're just doing it because they know we don't have a choice. Following the sound of voices, I enter the briefing room to find Hisao and the commander engaged in a measured but somewhat intense discussion. Their eyes briefly shift to me as I'm noticed. But despite my sudden arrival, the two remain just as engrossed in their discourse. Ma'am, I simply find it difficult to believe that defending ourselves from an attack qualifies as counterterrorism. The previous mission ought to be excluded as well. We were on KCOM's property. We're in KCOM's autonomous zone, had KCOM's permission, and helped KCOM enforce corporate policy. It was strictly a private sector affair. And you think working with DCIS isn't because of its ties to the government? It's not just that, ma'am. These coordinates point to District 4 inside true state jurisdiction. At some insipid rundown, brainwashing facility, no less. As far as we know, Birdsong's never physically attacked anything or anyone outside of District 3. Just the occasional cyber attack, file stealing, and DNS redirection. Meanwhile, every time the ILF wants to send a message, they select a building belonging to one of the Trifact corporations and blast it to smithereens. And it's plain to see why they seem so aggravated by Lemniscate in particular. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't concerned about Spear or Maeda. But do you really think these new allies of ours? Suzuki. After interrupting Hisao, the commander's face falls. That's enough. Despite the frustration I was seeing if I said who was who correctly. Despite the frustration he displayed a second ago, he now looks too caught off guard to be irritated by it, likely due to the fact that she went out of her way to address him by his name rather than his title. What's his name? Suzuki? I can't remember. I thought is Suzuki his last name? Or isn't it in the thing? It's in the thing, right? It just says he's Hal. You need to like me more. Like me more. You're too neutral. I lost my place. Given her liberal use of a certain O word, that alone showed Linda considerable significance to what she just said. Not that I know her well enough to conclusively deem it so. Yeah, she's always calling us operative. I'm just as concerned with this alliance as you are. But we're out of options. None of us ever asked for it. None of us want it. But I'm not willing to jeopardize the safety of this corporation by refusing to work with them. Even if they turned on us someday, that's still a hell of a lot better than having them turn on us today. And you're unconcerned with this maneuver potentially fostering certain expectations of us? What if our trust of them grows to a point where they can break it at their leisure? The only thing I trust Lemniscate to do is to go behind this corporation's back and further its own interests until they decide to dust off their moral compass. That's not going to change. And neither is the fact that they have what we need. This is a deal or die. This is deal or die, operative. And the chairman needs all of us to step up. Step up or stoop down. I'll follow whatever orders you give, ma'am. But if we help DCIS now, we risk becoming accomplices to whatever inhumanity they decide to commit next. Whatever Lemniscate's doing inside that re-education camp, it's bound to be just as bad, if not worse, than what happened at the old cat. Operative, if you finish that sentence, you will be hard reset and confined to your quarters until this mission is complete. What you're citing is nothing more than a crackpot conspiracy theory. It's complete bogus, like gay amphibians or cabal of vampires, goblins using the deep state to harvest adrenochrome? Yes, because everyone can relate to the second thing. Hell, operative. You're better off with the goblins. At least they'll let you live if they hear you talking about those. I know you were there, operative. I understand that you and your sister suffered. But the butcher of 38 acted alone. You can't just go around believing something else. Then what should I believe, Commander? That there's no reasonable explanation, no pattern, no connections to be found in all of this? Just some endless spiral of misfortune? If you don't, Nimniscate's going to know. And once they do, they will come for us. They'll come for me, they'll come for you, and if they can't come for you, they'll come for the people you care about. Do you understand that? I do. I know this alliance needs to be upheld. I just wish I knew what logic there was in sending us to kill these terrorists. You're assuming this decision was a logical one. Do you have any evidence of the contrary, Dr. Hayata? Have you met the warden? She just wants to fuck with me. That's what this is. We don't need to be there. No, but because I kind of want to stay back and be the goody two-shoes, she wants to see my hands get dirty. And watch me become the thing that I didn't want to become. I want to see if I will become the thing that I didn't want to become. I don't need evidence to tell you that trying to understand these people is a mistake. Bonus/penalty from charisma. Oh, can I do it then? Will this get him to like me more? I don't, but trying to find any would just piss DCIS off. If it doesn't make sense to you, it's probably not supposed to. How about the fucking psychopath I met with today? You know, the one in charge of all the DCIS? I mean, this is what I just said. She is totally just messing with me. This is unnecessary. She just wants to see me suffer. We'll see if this gets him to like me. At this point, I'm not choosing which one I want to choose. I just want him to like me. I didn't care if the warden liked me. I know I should have all the corporations like me, but I don't care enough about them. Because I don't like them. I don't like any of them. I don't think I'm supposed to, though. I don't need evidence to tell you that trying to understand these people is a mistake. If you're lucky, you'll scoop up more red herrings than a king-size trawler? If you aren't, you'll be the poor bastard getting scooped. I've seen a ship before. Suzuki. I know what happens in this city when someone gets too curious. Nobody's safe from that. Not even us. You might get on my nerves sometimes, but we're still a team. I don't want you to have to go down that road. A long time ago, I knew someone who started looking into a situation that didn't add up. I should have saved him before he went in too deep, but I didn't, and they made both of us suffer for it. I wasn't there when I needed to be, and because of me, they got you, your sister, and they even got Enough! Hisao slams a fist against the table, his jaw clenched and breast short. Wait, do I get the thing? No. Okay. We'll go back. We'll choose one that you like. What about this one? I'm not reading it. I'm just going to see if it works. If it works, I'll read it. Oh, he likes me less. No! Don't like me less. Okay, and this one? Oh no! So either he won't like it. Because right now... Or is it reputation? Characters. Is that 30? Oh. Wait, did he like me a little bit more? Okay, cool beans. Frozen beans. They're awesome. He somehow slammed his fist against the table, his jaw clenched and breath short. If you are able, Dr. Hayata, I would thank you to not speak his name at this time. You've done nothing but recite the same cautionary tale with the same scapegoat, the same feigned sympathy, all designed to patronize me for wanting to understand the greater truth. It's not fate. That may be so, Dr. Hayata, but you were there. You saw the carnage and the suffering firsthand. Yes, 40. My secret evil plan to make him to be besties with me shall be complete soon. Mwahahahaha. The douche weasel and the alcoholic teenager will be best of friends, and we shall smote everyone else. I don't know what's worse, that you would recite this anecdote or that I would somehow wish to believe it. Hisao sighs in exasperation, turning on his heels towards the briefing room door. Summon me when the red one wishes to start her meeting. That sounds like a euphemism for a period. I require respite from this charade. Can I talk to Elris? I really would like to talk to her. I feel like she could make me feel better. With the day's combat drills finally out of the way, I enter the training room airlock and prepare to face the decon sprayers. The Despite Eris warning me that I'd have to go through them again, the force produced by the emitters catches me off guard with its intensity. The specs would suggest this system is more effective than it has any right to be, which would make it an excellent choice for a situation like this. If someone forgot to keep their helmet in here, though the resulting chemical burns would be least of their problems. With a relative ease, I disengaged the seal on my left gauntlet, and upon pulling it off, I'm reminded of the machinery that lies beneath. The sensation of near weightlessness still clashes with what I see when I look down. Black, triple-layered armor, flexible but still robust, holds firm in a sturdy cage of titanium composite running all the way up to my new arm like a cluster of blackened, frosted overworms and an empty suit of armor. Before it joins the frigid carapace that binds to my neck and limbs, vaporized coolant fogs the underside of key joints, billowing from the insides of tightly packed ring-shaped heat chambers, exchangers. I can't remember what it looked like before they put these on, but maybe that's for the best. If I have to be someone's property, it's better that I'm converted into valuable hardware than reduced to some gruesome lump of flesh kept in a state of constant undeath by grinding pumps and hollow needles. Under more conventional circumstances, I'd say I wouldn't Rui. I'd say I wouldn't Rui to see me like this, but she already has. Oh, so we're Yama now. That happened to me in the original game too. I would suddenly switch to Rui's perspective and I thought it was Yama. At this point, my options for running and hiding are both non-existent, and I still can't think of any reason to leave her behind. This version of her, at least. They've run me through the simulations so many times that it's impossible to tell how deep I am in them. She looks real, though, and even if her eyes never shined and she smiles like an old woman who's seen too many days, she still feels real. Well, we'll hear Yama's inner dialogue in the next episode.